Alright, hey, HadesOmega here. So this is the project complete video, alright? So I'm now introduced to you the HadesOmega Solar Garage project is finished, alright? So we're gonna go over the whole system and then I will make another episode will be a after action review. So that is the after project, you know, what happened, what really happened, and what could I have done to improve, or you know, what I did good or what I did bad, okay, that kind of thing. But that'll be a different episode, probably one after this one, okay? So in this episode, we're gonna go over the HadesOmega Solar Garage, all right? So let's start at the heart of it, the solar panels. Okay, right? So let's start at the solar panels. Up there on my roof, I've got two 320 watt Jinko solar panels and one Trina 340 watt solar panel, okay? So total, that's around 900 watts, all right? Like 970 watts, all right? I haven't seen it put out that much power yet, though. Hopefully. Okay, and then I got it up there on super struts, all right? That's that kind of conduit running material, frame. Okay, I'm using super struts as a frame, all right? It's for running conduit, but I'm using it to hold the solar panels up, and it works pretty good, okay? Okay, let me go kind of take a look. Okay. We'll go take a look. Sorry, yeah, the sun is kind of in the way right now, but yeah, there's the solar panels up there. And then there's the conduit going into the garage, and then there's the equipment ground. You can see the copper wire going into the garage, okay? So that's about 120-ish volts and about 8 or 9 amps, all right? I checked it yesterday with the clamp, and yeah, I was putting out like about 9 amps max, okay? They're wired in series, all right? I think each one of these panels puts out about 40 volts and like, yeah, 8 or 9 amps, okay? So yeah, that's around 120 volts and about 8 or 9 amps, okay? All right, and then let's go to the garage. So this whole garage is now powered by the system, okay? Everything in this garage minus the dryer, okay? I cannot power the dryer in this garage because it's 240 or 220 volts, okay? I would need to have another inverter to do like a split phase setup, okay? Honestly, I think the dryer is probably too much for the system to handle. I mean, yeah, it would be able to power it, but you know, it would just chomp through the battery really quick. What I have designed this system for is to charge like an electric motorcycle, okay? Like my store on Lightbee, I used to have another electric motorcycle, but after the project started, I lost it, okay? The battery went bad on it, and I couldn't have it anymore. Okay, but yeah, so pretty much let's start. Okay, let's start here. All right, so this is the load center here, and so the solar panels come in through here. All right, this is an 8-gauge wire. All right, and it's good enough to handle 50 amps. So we're only pushing like 8 or 9 amps through it. So it's not. We've got plenty of room to grow. If I'm gonna say, you know, there's plenty of room to add more power to it. Okay. And then so this is my Growatt. It's a 24 volt all-in-one inverter system. Okay, and it is hooked. And this is my battery bank right here. This is the these are Vericor batteries, all right? I ordered them from Vericor on AliExpress. I've got 8 of them. They're lithium iron phosphate batteries, and they're 280 amp hours, okay? So it's an 8S configuration, 8 series. That brings it up to about 24 volts. And this battery bank has 280 amp hours, which gives this battery bank about 6,000 watt hours of power. Okay, I'll put the exact subtitle below. It's something like 6,700 or something. Okay, and then for my BMS, I'm using a Dali 250 amp 24 volt BMS. All right, it's the dumb one. It's the one that doesn't, you can't like use the computer to log into it, but I haven't had any problems with it yet. Okay, I will talk about like what I think about all the components I put in this system in the AAR video. Okay, and then there is a battery monitor here. Okay, this is the TR16 battery tester. Okay, I got that one, and it works great. I'm glad I put this on here because like you can tell, you know, how much charge your battery has at a glance. All right, so right now we're at 55.8%. Okay, I programmed it for 280 amp hours. You can check your voltage. You can check how much amps are coming in or coming out. So right now there's 5 amps coming out of it, and there's 156 amp hours left into the battery. Okay, and then the percentage. I'm sorry, it's not really making any power right now. I could check. So right now the battery is at 26.5 volts. All right, if you check here, it's pretty close. 26.36. And you can check the solar panel input here. So right now there's 82 volts coming in, and 0 amps are going into the battery because we got a load, and we saw somewhere from like around 30 watts is coming in right now. So we're not charging the battery right now. Okay, so the way this guy works is there's an AC input and there's an AC output. Okay, so I have and so this is my load center right here. Okay, my breaker panel. These are outlets that have run throughout the garage for the outlets I think I'm gonna use. All right, there's 4 of them. All right, one of them goes to the other side of the garage. All right, where those air compressors are over there. Okay, another one goes right here. Okay, it powers this, and since we're here, we can take a look at this. So this is the outlet for the garage. All right, so if I want to just go back to the grid power, all right, all I gotta do is unplug this and plug it back in there. Okay, and so each one of these outlets that I ran are 20 amp outlets, so these outlets can handle a lot of power. Okay, over like a regular outlet. I decided to oversize them, so just in case I wanted to have some bigger loads in it. All right, and yeah, and we got 20 amp breakers all across. Okay, I have the wiring and the outlets, they're all sized for that. All right, but yeah, these power strips and stuff, they all have their own breakers and stuff too. Okay, so this outlet powers the sprinkler system, the water softener, my mini fridge here. Check it out. Yeah, man, mini fridge. I just stocked it up today, man. I got the beers and the goodies. Oh yeah. And the mini fridge serves as my for the shelf for the batteries. Okay, so I don't have to have the batteries on the floor. It's strong enough to hold it. I'm also using a crate. All right, this is a large crate to house the 8 batteries. Okay, I had to put them in this configuration. All right, so this is just 6 of them fit in there nicely, and then the 7th and 8th battery, they didn't fit in there so nicely, so I had to make custom battery bars here to get that to fit. All right, so the positive and negative is here, and the positive and negative is there. Okay, anyway, yeah, let's get back to the outlets. So yeah, there's one for the compressor, there's one for right here, and they're pretty much right next to the other outlet, all right, for the garage. So like I said, if I want to go back to grid power, all I have to do is unplug this and plug that into there. Okay, and then I got another one powering the washer, all right, over there. I've got some like USB chargers there also, and then I've got another one powering the garage door opener. Okay, so my garage door opener has an outlet on the ceiling here, just for the garage door opener, and I use that for this workstation too also. So it powers all this stuff, all these appliances here. Okay, and my garage door opener has a light too, so I can use that to light the garage. The lights in the garage are not powered by it. Okay, unfortunately, I don't know how to do it, so I'm just that's fine. I can make do with this one. But you can still use that. So far, The only things that are not powered in this garage by the solar power system, by the HadesOmega solar power system, is the dryer and the lights. Okay, these lights right here. Okay, they don't eat up a whole lot of power anyways. They're LED lights. Pretty nice. Yeah, so pretty much all the loads in this garage I can power with that inverter. The inverter can handle 3,000 watts, and so far it looks like it's been able to handle everything in here. Okay, even the washer, the garage door opener eats up 500 watts. I think the thing that eats up the most power in here is the freaking vacuum. The weirdest those. When I did the load test, the vacuum was the one that eats up the most power. Okay, I'd imagine if we could use a dryer, I think the dryer eats up like 3,000 watts. I'm not 100% on that though. Okay. So this has an automatic transfer switch feature. All right, so you can see here there's like a little diagram of where the power is flowing. All right, so we got solar panels here, we've got, this is a utility here. Okay, and then there's the battery right there. Okay, so right now the solar power and the battery are powering the loads. All right, we don't have a whole lot of loads right now. Okay, I think it's just the refrigerator. Yeah, okay, and then so down over here I have this extension cord or a plug going into the grid outlet right here. Okay, so that's the input for the inverter. Okay, now it doesn't have a, so if the battery goes below a certain voltage, it switches to grid power. Okay, that's the way I have it programmed. So when this guy runs out of power, it'll switch automatically to the grid, so that way you'll always have power. Okay, no matter what, even though this is depleted. All right, but then yeah, you're going to be using grid power. And then this has a breaker. This is connected to the breaker at the circuit breaker panel for the house. So if I overload this outlet, it'll be fine. it has a circuit breaker on it. So okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. These are the kind of safety devices that I have installed on it. It has I have an install bay 50 amp fuse right here. Okay, like I said, we're only pulling like about 9 amps, so it's not enough to overload that. Okay, and I have a 250 amp breaker right here, and then yeah, there's a 250 amp BMS, and then there's a 40 amp breaker on this guy. Okay, so if the inverter overloads, then that might break. Okay, and then I have the circuit breakers right here, 20 amp circuits, so, and 20 amp outlets, and I could shut off anything right here. Okay, I've also bridged it, so since right now we're running in single phase right now for everything, and I've only got one phase going in. I only had like a L1 hot going in, so I've bridged the L1 and the L2, so I can use each one of these. Okay, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I use this to charge pretty much my electric motorcycle, and then the loads in the garage. All right, like the garage door opener or whatever. Also, there's a phone app that you can use. So yeah, this has a Wi-Fi device also. So I bought the Wi-Fi device for this, and you plug it into the USB port here, and then you can, when you set it up, so it logs into the it uses your Wi-Fi network. Okay, it uses it, and it talks through your Wi-Fi network to the server, the Growatt server, and then you can check your data for the system there. Okay, there is a web app, and there is a smartphone app. Okay, so I will have a separate video about those later, and how to set it up. Okay, but yeah, so there it is. That's everything. I still got 2 circuits left that I could still use, and my mom is thinking, you know what? She might buy me another inverter, and we may do a split phase. All right, so look forward to that if you want to learn how to do that. I think it would kind of be worth it because, oh yeah. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this also was so I could have EVSE in the garage. Okay. Like I said, I used to have a big electric motorcycle, and now I only have a small electric motorcycle, but I'm planning to get like a like some kind of EV in the future, and I wanted to be able to charge it with it. So as it stands right now, we would be able to charge with, we would be able to do a level 1 charge, okay, using this outlet right here, okay. In the future, if I do a split phase 220 volts or 240 volts, we could do a level 2 charge, okay. I can use a level 2 charger. I actually do have a level 2 charger already, so but yeah, so, and you could charge your car faster, okay, but we'll see about that. But the only benefits of that would be, like, yeah, we can run more loads in the garage at the same time, because if you were on different circuits, and yeah, you could power the dryer, and I could charge my EV twice as fast, pretty much, okay, up to 3 kilowatt, I guess, or 6 kilowatts. All right, but yeah, I think that would be a lot for this to handle. Yeah, so anyway, look forward to the after action review. I'm going to talk about, you know, how all this came to be, how it went, and you know, how it turned out. Obviously it turned out like it did in this video, and what I could do to improve upon it, or future plans for it, okay? All right, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out. So if you're wondering what model number of Growatt inverter this is the SPF 3000 TL LVM-24P, okay? That means it's 3000 watts, and you can use a 24 volt battery bank. I think this is the only one that does 24 volts. The other ones are 48 volts, okay? And if I had to do 48 volts, well, then I would have to get double the amount of batteries. So I would have to have like 16 batteries as opposed to 8 batteries, okay? So that's why I went with, I think this might be big enough for this garage. Definitely, I think we'd probably need more solar panels. Let's see. Okay, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out. Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and I'm editing this video, the video about the my solar garage project, the overview video. So one thing I forgot was the diagram. I mean, I thought I shot all these videos, but like I didn't. So I'm gonna put this at the end of the overview video, so you guys can see the diagram. So at the beginning of this project, I made a diagram with Microsoft Paint, and it's changed, okay? So I'm gonna go over that diagram again, and I'm gonna go over the changes. I've got the old diagram and the new diagram. We're gonna compare the two, okay? And I have like a kind of dual monitor set up in my room, so that's what we're gonna be using. Okay, so let's check it out. All right, so here we are in my office. All right, so this is the original system right here, okay? Sorry, my chair's a little creaky, but I'm gonna be moving around between screens. All right, so that's the HadesOmega Solar Garage project. This is the initial wiring diagram. This is the initial diagram for the whole system, okay, for the most part. All right, so I'll go over it quickly, and then I'll go over the new one. All right, so I've got the solar panels here. All right, there was supposed to be 2 320 watt solar panels. Those are the ones I got on Craigslist for like 200 bucks. What a bargain, you know. Those are the Jinko solar panels. That's 640 watts. And I think, I don't know, it was going to be 45. This is wrong. This is not right. Oh, I was going to put them in, I think I was going to put them in parallel or something. Whatever. This is wrong. That's not right. I think it was going to be, it's about 44 amps. I think I was going to put them in parallel. That's what it looks like, because it's 18 amps. It outputs about 9-10 amps. So if you put it in parallel, it would make it 18 amps, okay? So that was the original plan, was to just put it in parallel, because I wasn't making that big a system, okay? So, and then this is, what this is here is 640 watts times 5. That's like times how much daylight you have. Yeah, but you're not really going to get that much power, but that would be enough for 3,000 watts a day, okay, of power. All right, that's provided, like, you could probably charge this battery bank here in half a day, okay? So let's talk about the battery bank. So I bought the Vericor batteries, all right? That's the ones that's the same setup, you know, from the new one. All right, they're going to be connected in series. That's 8S, right? 8 in series for about 24 volts. They're 3.2. I think they're 3.2 volts. They're not 3.5. I think 3.5 is when they're fully charged. And then 280 amp hours, okay? And so if you multiply 280 amp hours times 24, you get 6,720 watt hours, okay? So that's how much the battery bank capacity is. Almost pretty much 7 kilowatt hours of power, all right? And then there's a DALI BMS, all right, that protects the battery and manages it. That's why it's called a BMS. It's a battery management system. It's a 8S 250 amp BMS. All right, way overkill for this system. We're only drawing like 40 amps. No. Well, the inverter will draw 40 amps. We'll put out 40 amps AC power. Okay, but you can probably draw. I just drew like 100 amps today. Okay, so you could definitely, if you use enough stuff, you might be able to reach 250 amps, maybe with 2 inverters. All right, okay, and then this is our Growatt inverter. All right, that's a Growatt 24 volt 3000 watt inverter. All right, it's a hybrid off-grid inverter / charger. Okay, so it's everything all in one. All right, so it has the inverter, the charger. It has an AC charger, it has a solar charger and an AC charger. It's an MPPT charger. Yeah, it has an inverter and it has an automatic transfer switch. All right, so it lets you switch to the grid. All right, so that's what this is. So grid power right here. Okay, grid goes in. All right, and then this is the battery. The battery and solar panels go in also. All right, the solar panels charge the battery. They can also power the loads. This can pretty much be the same thing for the other diagrams, so I'll go over it right now. So when this gets too low on power, it connects the grid to the loads. Okay, these are the loads right here. All right, so it basically just switches from this circuit to that circuit. All right, and then yeah, you get seamless power. And then like, yes, that's what's called a hybrid off-grid system. Okay, and then there's that breaker panel, and then it was supposed to go to EVSE. All right, yeah, I was planning to install an EVSE there, but my electric motorcycle battery went bad and Polaris wound up buying it back for me. Okay, rest in peace, Impulse 139. Okay, and they took the EVSE with it. Okay, there was a level 1 EVSE that came with it. It was a nice one too. It was a Clipper Creek one. So I don't have a level 1 EVSE anymore, unfortunately. I will soon when I do get my RAV4 Prime, but it's been a while. Finally, I might be able to get it soon. Okay, so yeah, the EVSE is not there anymore. It's supposed to power the washer and then everything else. Okay, so I will go in that more detail. Okay, but that's how the system works. Okay. And let me show you the changes I made to the system. All right, right, boom, right here on my monitor. All right, so I think everything that I changed I crossed out. All right, sort of, kind of. So instead of 2 solar panels, I now have 3 solar panels. Okay, I have 2 Jinkos and 1 Trina solar panel. They're literally the same dimensions and everything. The Trina one is actually a little bit better than the Jinko. Yeah, so instead of having 2 panels, I have one 340 watt panel. All right, I don't know why it says 320 watts. That should be 340 watts. And then I have 2 320 watt panels. So that's for 640 watts. Or that I don't know. Yeah, that's 340. This should be 980. This should be 980 watts. Sorry guys, I screwed up. That should be 980 watts total output. All right, and does it really put out that much power? No, it puts out close to 900 when it's at full power. All right, but it doesn't stay there very long, is all I want to say. Okay, I've been watching it for a few weeks now. Okay, I've had it up for like 2 months already. Okay, and then so it was supposed to be, I was gonna do a parallel. Remember I mentioned about it being parallel and it's gonna be 18 amps? Well, I wound up putting them in series instead, okay? Because the inverter could handle up to 145 volts, okay? So if you put all the 3 solar panels in series, all right, that's 40 volt, about 40 volts, and that's not about 9 amps per panel. Times 3, it gives you 120 volts and 9 amps. Okay, so when you put it in series, the voltage goes up but the current doesn't. Okay, and that's what you want.
or else you're going to be running hella big wires. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much what my solar array puts out, about 120 volts and 9 amps. All right, maybe a little bit more, you know, more or less, okay, depending on the conditions. All right, and then I ran that down to the inverter. Yeah, it goes to the Growatt inverter, and then it charges the battery bank. Okay, so this is the battery bank. It's pretty much the same as before. Okay, I added the balance. No, it's still there. But what I did was I added the fuse and the shunt. Okay, so the shunt is for the battery monitor. Actually, the battery monitor was in the other diagram, so I added that. All right, I bought that battery monitor. I'm glad I did, because it's really good. Okay, and this is like some kind of revised data here. So this, we had 900. It's supposed to be 980 watts times 5 hours. Okay, and that's 4,800 watts. All right, or whatever that extra 4,820 watts or something. All right, in a day. All right, if there's 5 hours of full sunlight. Okay, that doesn't really happen. Okay, guys, and then so it would take the battery bank. Okay, this battery bank was 6,720 watt hours, right? So you would divide that by 4,800 watts. It would take 1.4 days to charge the battery. Okay, if you had 5 hours of sunlight. All right, that's if you have 5 hours of sunlight, full sunlight, full power. Okay, it doesn't really make that much. If you'll find out that the charge curve is like a bell curve. Okay, but mine isn't a bell curve. You'll find that out in the next couple episodes. All right. Okay, so yeah, that's the shunt going off of the negative. All right, I've made it very detailed, right? There's the shunt on the negative. The BMS is on the negative also, and then there's the battery monitor. The battery monitor is actually hooked up to, yeah. So there's the wire from the shunt. The shunt is going to the positive terminal on the battery bank. Okay, but pretty much well, the 8X Lycian batteries, or Vericore batteries, that was the same. That hasn't been changed since the last one. Okay. All right, and then this never changed, but the panel, oh yeah, I added a ground. Okay, so this is the ground right here. I used the ground that was in my garage already. There must have been some kind of ground rod somewhere in my garage. All right, I used that for my equipment ground for the solar panels. Okay, and then I grounded the breaker box also. Okay, I don't know if that's proper, but hey, it's been working that way, and I haven't burned the garage down yet. So what next? All right, so yeah, and then these are all the loads. So this is the green wire, the black wire, and the white wire, right? The green is ground, black is your hot, and the white is your neutral. All right, and then there's the grid power. Like I mentioned, when this gets depleted below a certain voltage, I wrote it down on the inverter. I actually changed it later. You'll find that in a later episode too. It will switch from the battery power to the grid power. All right, it'll connect this instead of this. Okay, so but for the most part, most of the time, it's going to be running off of the battery, and then the inverter will convert the DC power to AC and then power the loads. Okay, and then the battery monitor is kind of there to tell you what's going on with the battery. Okay, yeah, and then there's that breaker panel, all right, that I made, and it's connected to my garage door, the washer, the air compressor, and then the sprinkler system. The sprinkler system is just the outlets that are right next to the inverter. Okay, I named the outlets after what, like, the major appliance it's powering. Okay, so it's 4 times, and then I used 20 amp outlets. Okay, 20 amp outlets, and I think 12 gauge wire. If you use 12 gauge is good for like 20 amps. All right, it's actually 16. You're really only going to pull 16 from that. All right, but that's more than the 15. Most common household outlets are 15 amps. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's the updated diagram for the system, and that's it right there. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is the HadesOmega Solar Garage. I hope you guys, those of you that have followed me on my journey, I hope you have enjoyed this this project, and there's still a little there. I'll still have more videos to come. It's expanding again. So but yeah, it's pretty much, I pretty much completed the first part of this I completed the project, but there's going to be more to it. That's what I want to say. Okay, so look forward to that. I hope this was educational for you guys. Okay, back to the office view. Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, this project was out of my comfort zone. Okay, I've learned a lot of stuff that I've never done before, like electrician stuff. I've never done that before. I've never worked on a roof before. Yeah, and that stuff was very difficult for me. Okay, and I did pretty much 95% of the work myself. Okay, so it's kind of tough when you do it yourself, especially doing the heavy lifting, working on the roof. Yeah, that's the tough stuff. All right, and then just the many hours of going to Home Depot and, you know, ordering stuff on the internet and ordering stuff here and there. Yeah, dude, it's time consuming. All right, so that's why you pay those solar installation companies the big bucks, because they can get this stuff done fast and professionally. Okay, so yeah, but hey, I could be happy knowing that, hey, I did everything by myself. I did everything by myself, and I saved a lot of money. Okay, I will go. Yeah, I haven't even done it yet. I still got to do the cost analysis, the final cost analysis. So look forward to that in the future video. I tell you now, it was around $3,000, not too much money. Okay, but it's starting to go up again. So I'm gonna install more panels. All right. So thanks for watching. That is the HadesOmega Solar Garage project complete. All right, mission accomplished. HadesOmega out.